fantastic people, from classic people to new people, but we don't know who they are, as Keith keeps saying to me. We kind of do, but I'm not telling.
How's Charlie? Cordelia Kretschmar, GMTV in Britain. Each time you lot do a tour these days, people say it's your last one. Is this your last one? Hey! Cordelia Kretschmar from GMTV in Britain. Each time you do a tour these days, over here, each time you do a tour these days, people say it's your last one. Is this your last one?
Well,
yes.
Charlie might say, but we don't really plan tours and say this is the last tour. We certainly don't announce the tour as the last tour. I think that's a trap to sort of try and get other people to buy your tickets and say, well, I'll never see them again. We never said this is going to be our last tour. We never think about it. We take each tour as it comes.
Hi,
Hey guys, Tony Senecal, Channel 11 News, right here in New York. I was out hanging with some of your fans, and one of them had a question. Her name is Shanna Valdemar. She's 17. She's been a fan ever since she can walk, and she wants to know, and I quote, where did you get those so sexy moves?
Gotta learn to run.
Off her mum.
hello.
Woo,
Hi.
Shanna!
Hello.
So I think, how we doing?
Hello.
How we doing, Fran?
Hello.
Two more questions, she said.
Steve Evans from the BBC. You're quoted as leaving Britain for tax reasons.
Where are you, Mr.
Over here.
Tax reason question? This sounds a really boring question you're going to come out with now.
Next
Only an Englishman could come up with one of these questions.
I'm a Welshman, actually.
Got it here.
You're quoted as leaving England for tax reasons because you didn't want to pay the tax, and rehearsing in Canada for tax reasons.
We love Canada. We would never rehearse there for tax reasons.
How much is money driving you, and how much is music driving you?
It's not a very popular question. We're going to pass on that silly question.
You can have the money, pal.
Too English, go home.
Hey guys, that was from the Boring Broadcasting Corporation of England.
The next one, please.
Over here.
Good to see these guys together in groups, and I think this time you're going to get the badges from the Astronaut Association for traveling around the world so much. But I wanted to find out, like the preparation that went into this new album. How much inspiration did you get from each other?
Well, we tried to make this
Some glimmers?
album a very kind of direct album. It was quite, in a lot of ways, a simple album with a lot of different ideas as far as the lyrics are concerned. We tried to make it very wide-ranging, and we tried to make it very hard-hitting, though it's got its sensitive moments.
Kick some ass.
Over here.
One more question.
Over
This is
here.
from the New York Times. Are you done with the album, or are you working on it? or what?
We're sort of 85% done.
One more over here.
Okay, guys, thank you very much for coming. It's been a great afternoon.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah.
Rolling out their unmistakable logo and with the familiar riff of one of their all-time classic songs, the Rolling Stones offered up a raucous rock and roll invitation to fans everywhere. Come along on a new world tour, kicking it off with a surprise outdoor concert Tuesday at the Juilliard School in New York. What got you back? Last time we all talked, you said when a Rolling Stones tour ends, the last thing you want to talk about is the
next
Rolling
one.
Stones and the next.
Oh, the next tour? Well, I mean, it sort of runs in a pretty good cycle, you know.
Wait for a phone call from Mick saying, getting a bit antsy, you want to go, shall we?
But is that how it happens?
Kind of.
Well, don't forget, you've got to be a bit hard-headed. There is a sort of supply and demand thing here. If no one called up and said, we think that, you know, you should go and tour, because there's good times and bad times to do tours.
In a way, Mick and I get the same feeling that just around the same time, it's then, as Mick was just saying, you know, does all of the rest of it fall into place, you know, the business and the supply and demands and all of that. But basically say, well, we're ready. If the demand's there, we'll supply.
Inevitably, when you guys announce a tour, a couple of questions come off right off the bat, and one is why. And I read something you said in an interview that I thought was fascinating. You said, why don't people ask that of a John Lee Hooker or someone like a B.B. King or someone like that? That you almost think there's an inverse racism here.
In a way.
That when the
I did
older
imply
white
that,
guys
yeah.
go out on tour, people say, why are they going out on tour?
Yeah.
And the jazz and blues guys go out on tour no matter what age they are.
You croak on stage, you know. I mean, so we're no really different to. You know, we're just musicians. I mean, it's other people's bags that we get put in, and I mean, right? Because we're white. You've made a lot of money. Why the hell would you want to do that? Yeah, because we love it. It's as simple as that.
We are musicians and we play. That's what we do. Okay, but. So we're the same as any other musician. That's what you do. That's your job. So that you want to do your job that you enjoy doing. But the other thing is that the difference, perhaps, between us and these other people is that we make a big lot of noise about it.
When you talk about the dynamic that exists between you two, and I watch you two sitting side by side, I think, Keith, you said something, it's not a quote, but to the effect of, you guys like to antagonize each other.
Sometimes.
But not too much.
To get the blood flowing.
Flowing, yeah, but not flowing that much. Yeah. Just to get it rising, is actually.
You want to get to the point where you can go negative on that.
Because it sounds a little like the married couple that fights so that they can have great sex after they make up.
Could be.
Well, I don't remember that bit.
We've never got that.
You think you would have remembered that?
I think I might have done, even in the days of yore. But, no, but I think that...
No, it seems to work like that. Sometimes the mixed temperament is very different to mine
Yeah,
at
we are
times,
very
but when we start to work together, we suddenly seem to have the same.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, I mean,
I think we're both
everybody's
very
different.
passionate about what we do. We have different ways of working. I think everyone does.
You're probably right there. I mean, if we didn't care, we'd say, oh, just sling a couple of songs together and see it and throw them against the wall, you know.
Jagger says talk that this is some sort of farewell tour is simply not true. The Rolling Stones are taking it one tour at a time, promising to give each show all they've got.
You go out there and you put yourself on the line and you make sure you're as good as you possibly can be, and you don't about and you don't rest on your laurels, and you just give the best show you can. And even if you feel terrible, you've got a cold, your back's aching and all that crap, and you just do it. And because you are putting yourself on your line, and those people have paid whatever money, good money to see you, and you better be bloody good.
And the Rolling Stones World Tour kicks off on August 21st at Boston's Fenway Park. The Stones are also finishing up a new CD with brand new material written by Mick and Stone are Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. This week, I sat down for an exclusive interview with the boys in the band just after their announcement that was music to the ears of fans everywhere. The Stones are going back on tour. So you're sitting home, Keith, with the family, and the phone rings,
Kicking back.
And Patty or somebody says it's Mick on the phone. Do you know that by the end of that phone call, you're going to have a
He
tour
doesn't call me
schedule?
that often.
You know what the phone
We
call's
might
about.
vex each other now and again, and I don't answer that, nor does he. We can never hardly find each other. But no, when it's mixed on about, and at the same time I'm scratching, you know, I know what this is about.
What it's about is what they've been doing for the past 40 years. Now, both age 61, they're rock icons, with Richards the master on guitar, and Jagger the ultimate frontman. It's been said of you, Mick, that you've heard this 100 times, that you put the sex in sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And so I'm curious, at 61 years old, do you still feel that way on stage?
Sexy, you mean?
Rock and roll, he's given up.
At least you didn't ask me if I was in love. Yeah, no,
But I mean, is that still a
does
feeling?
It feel sexy on stage? I mean, it does. I suppose it is a big part of it. But it depends what kind of songs you're doing. You know, I think that when you're doing a sexy song, you're sexy, and when you're doing a more sentimental song, you're sentimental. You know, being a lead singer, you have to be all these different things for different people all the time.
It depends on who's sitting down the front.
Yeah, it does. You know, it does, and it depends on all these things and how you feel on the day. You don't always feel sexy on the day.
You guys became so popular when you were young because you were different. You were brash. You were, in some ways, revolutionaries. And we're living in a time now in music, you could almost call it the American Idol mentality, where these people that are becoming stars today are voted on every step of the way. It's like, are they acceptable week to week to week? And by the time we're done with these people, we have a publicly vetted persona.
Yeah.
What's your feeling on that?
Well, it's turned into a game. So really what you're talking about with these shows is as an elongated talent show. You know, I mean,
Yeah, there's
and
always been
everybody can
talent
go
shows.
like, ding, press the bell, yes,
There's
no.
always talent shows.
It's a quiz game.
There was always in show business and rock and roll manufactured stars. In other words, stars that perhaps hadn't played lots of clubs and didn't have a fan base, but they looked cute, and someone saw them in a coffee shop and said, "Okay, you'll
There's an
do.
extension of that.
You'll do. You're cute. Can you sing? Not really. Okay, I'll teach you." There's always been that in show business, and there always will be.
After 5 decades of performing, the Rolling Stones are ready to hit the road again, and the predictions have begun. The other question that inevitably comes up when you announce a tour is, it the last?
We've never said it. We don't say it. Yeah, it could be. The last one could have been. We don't know. I mean, we don't know what we. No one knows. Is this your last job? You know, could this be your last? Could this be Matt Lauer's last job? I don't know. You don't
Stop the subject right now, all right? I need this gig.
We don't plan it to be. Let's put it like that.
Hope it's not my last job.
I mean, I just want to touch you. I mean, I love those
I
guys.
got to meet Springsteen, too. You want to touch me again?
You're like our rock and roll groupie reporter.
It's like a childhood fantasy
Of
come
course,
true. It's
yeah.
great.
Well, somebody
It really
gets to have
is.
it come true.
Anyway, the Stones kick off their tour August 21st at Boston's Fenway Park. If you're